In 2024, some of the world's most powerful nations are teetering on the edge of collapse. Once symbols of strength, they now face crises reshaping the global landscape. Economic meltdowns, political turmoil, social unrest. How did it happen? What went wrong? Buckle up! This is not your typical countdown. These are the 10 fastest collapsing countries of 2024. First up, the United States of America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, facing serious issues, economic struggles, deep political divisions and immigration challenges, and that pesky national debt at $34 trillion. But hey, at least we're number one at something, right? Next up, we're heading over to Pakistan, a country with a rich culture and stunning landscapes. But it has a debt-to-GDP ratio higher than a kite on Bazant. Seriously, folks, it's over 70%. They owe more money than they make in a year. Printing more rupees is not the answer. Pakistan faces political instability and security threats. It's a tough situation, common in many parts of the world. Ghana, once known as the Gold Coast, is facing an economic crisis that's about as shiny and appealing as a tarnished penny. Inflation is skyrocketing faster than a SpaceX rocket, and the country is grappling with illegal gold mining that's causing more environmental damage than a room full of toddlers with juice boxes and zero adult supervision. It's a perfect storm of economic mismanagement, corruption, and environmental degradation. And if Ghana doesn't get a handle on these issues soon, the only thing golden about its future will be the memories of its past. Chapter 4, Tunisia, from revolution to regression. Remember Tunisia, the birthplace of the Arab Spring, the beacon of hope for democracy in the region? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because things have taken a bit of a turn. The economy is in the tank. Political instability is back on the menu, and the government is cracking down on dissent harder than a toddler on a juice box. It's a stark reminder that revolutions, while often necessary, don't always lead to lasting change. And in Tunisia's case, it feels like they've traded one set of problems for another. Chapter 5, Argentina, tangoing with disaster. Argentina, the land of tango, football, and chronic economic crises. As of March 2024, the poverty rate in Argentina had skyrocketed to over 55%, with extreme poverty affecting 17.5% of the population. It's a complex cocktail of government mismanagement, corruption, inflation, and enough external debt to make even the most seasoned economist break out in a cold sweat. It's a situation that's both tragic and frustratingly familiar. Chapter 6, Venezuela, a barrel of trouble. Venezuela, a country with more oil reserves than Texas has pickup trucks, should be rolling in dough. Instead, it's rolling in something else entirely economic and political turmoil. Hyperinflation has turned the Venezuelan bolivar into something you'd use to start a bonfire rather than buy groceries. With disputed elections, widespread protests, and a government that's more interested in consolidating power than helping its people, Venezuela's future is looking about as bright as a blackout in Caracas. Chapter 7. Myanmar, a nation held hostage. Myanmar, also known as Burma, is facing a humanitarian crisis so severe it would make even the most jaded cynic shed a tear. After a military coup in 2021, the country has been plunged into chaos and violence. Millions of people have been displaced, and the economy is in freefall. The international community needs to step up and do more to help the people of Myanmar, or risk witnessing a humanitarian catastrophe of epic proportions. Chapter 8, Burkina Faso, forgotten crisis. Burkina Faso, a landlocked country in West Africa, is facing a perfect storm of challenges. Political instability, armed conflict, and a humanitarian crisis that's spiraling out of control. It's a recipe for disaster, and unfortunately it's one that's all too common in the region. The world needs to pay attention to what's happening in Burkina Faso. Chapter 9, South Sudan, a country stillborn. South Sudan, the world's youngest nation, is facing a tragically familiar story, conflict, poverty, and a humanitarian crisis that's pushing millions to the brink. Despite its vast natural resources, South Sudan remains one of the poorest and least developed countries on Earth. It's a heartbreaking situation, and one that highlights the challenges of building a nation from scratch, especially in a region grappling with poverty, conflict, and the legacy of colonialism. Chapter 10, Sudan, a country divided. Sudan, a country riven by conflict and instability, is facing a bleak future. A brutal civil war, a collapsing economy, and a humanitarian crisis that's affecting millions of people paint a grim picture of a nation on the brink. The international community must act decisively to address the root causes of the conflict in Sudan and provide humanitarian assistance to those in need. Outrow a world on the brink. 2024 is shaping up to be a year of unprecedented challenges. From economic meltdowns to political upheavals, the global landscape is shifting. Remember, we're not powerless to act. Please subscribe for more updates on global events. Thank you for watching.